what's going on? This is Muriel from the Sunshine Family. Today talking about moving to Costa Rica and what mindset are you going to bring. Yes, let's just talk about mindset for a couple of minutes, because moving to Costa Rica and make it a success has, if you ask me personally, nothing to do with the perfect preparation of practical stuff. I think that is the biggest common mistake people make when they are planning their move to Costa Rica, that they have sorted everything out, but they cannot handle when things are going slightly different. So I'm gonna give you some simple tips in this video, so be sure to watch my video until the end to not miss anything. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can do that by hitting that little icon on the screen and tap the bell icon as well if you want to be notified when I upload a new video here on YouTube. Before I'm gonna dive into the content of today, I cannot stretch enough how grateful I feel and how happy it makes me feel that I am able to have that freedom of choice to just let go of my life in the Netherlands, close my laptop in the Netherlands, and move to Costa Rica with my family, 2 growing up kids, because I make my living full-time online by working just a maximum of 3 hours per day. This is just how it is. Give it a name. Some people call me a digital nomad. Some people call me an online entrepreneur. Some people call me an online marketer. Give it a name. I don't really care how it's called. I just care that I'm able to stand here talking to you while living in Costa Rica, showing you it is possible. If you are interested in any ways of how I'm making my living online, go to the description below, click that very first link saying digitaldutchies.com/it's possible, and learn more about what it is that I do. Simple, right? Now, let's talk about mindset. Let's talk about moving to Costa Rica and what's actually the best preparation. If you ask me, let's just put the finances aside. Let's just put aside that you have to figure out where you want to live, etc. Oh, by the way, it's another tip. I wrote a book, 7 Steps to Move to Costa Rica, that just summarizes all the practical preparation that I've done. Also some other stuff, some tips, but everything that I've done myself, I've written it down. You find a link, you can order my ebook in the description below. So that part is easily solved, okay? But the most important thing is to prepare your mind. How can you prepare your mind? Well, let me first of all find a place to sit. Because I'm just looking around where it's a little bit dry. And also I'm always looking around to see what's happening, because I brought my 3 dogs. And sometimes there's horses on the beach, and sometimes they want to hunt the horses, and which is not very cool. So, this is a great spot to sit. How can you prepare your mind to move to Costa Rica so you can deal with setbacks when things are not going as you have planned them? Well, here's the key. Listen to something that is building up your personal development every day, starting now, and don't skip a day. I'm not just saying listen to everything. So I have, and I will add that below in the description. I wrote a blog post with my most favorite personal development books. I've read them all. I read way more than those, but those are my favorite ones. I recommend you to just pick a book and start listening or reading a book starting now until the end of your life. Literally reading and filling your mind with things that is building up your personal development, making you a stronger, better person tomorrow as you are today. That is what's going to help you to have a success story, to create a success story in moving to Costa Rica. Not the practical preparation on its own, because you don't control the circumstances, right? Mindset is a big thing for me. The law of attraction is a big thing to me. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to share before I was finding a place to sit. Everything, remember this, everything you focus on grows. everything, right? So if you focus on what if the house that I rented for 2 months doesn't happen to be how I expected. So a lot of people say, what if I regret it after moving? What if, like, just let go of the doom scenarios, because that is like an order of the universe to get it delivered. So you're basically, by thinking these thoughts, you're actually creating it, because you're going to be an attraction magnet to attracting those situations, because that's what you're focused on. It is the art of controlling your mind to focus on the positive outcome. And even when the outcome is negative, you probably will discover later why that happened, because every situation, every event includes a lesson to learn that probably will prevent you a future circumstance that will be really, really more harmful than this little circumstance, but you will never know. The universe has a divine order for everything. If you think this is really weird stuff, or you hear this for the first time, that's okay. You don't have to watch my video. I'm just sharing what is working for me, and I have implemented this law of attraction, thinking positive, personal development. So not just visualizing stuff, but really like filling my brain with stuff that is also with science, with mindset, with personal development, quantum physics, a lot of awesome books. That is where I fill my mind with, and that helped me to overcome circumstances which were really not cool. A broken car while you're driving up like this in the bloody sun with 2 kids in the back. Like, you know, if your mindset is not in place, you're gonna be panicking, crying. You're gonna get like 20,000 gray hairs. Stress, it's so bad for your blood pressure and your heart. But having the right mindset, just trusting that there's helpful people, for example, who will help you, that is how you deal with those situations. And let me just touch on that funny story. While we were standing uphill with a broken car that didn't work, we were just here for the 2nd month, and we didn't speak any Spanish, and it was the hottest time of the day. Guess what happened? So yeah, we were standing there in the sun. Dirk had the front car, how do you say that, open, staring in the car, like what's going on. So at that moment, I was sitting in the shade with the kids. There was no way to walk up. It's a very dangerous road to walk at the side of the road. So we were just finding shelter in the shade. Guess what happened? A tourist car, a rental car, stopped at the side of the road and asked us what was going on. And I explained the car is broke, blah, blah, blah. We are waiting to see what we can do. We don't know what to do. And that guy, he was a complete stranger. He said, I see you here with your kids. Can I get you something like water, food, coffee, anything? Because I'm driving down to Santa Teresa and I am happy to drive up back and just get you something, anything you want to make this day a better day. And then meanwhile, let's see what your husband can do with the car. I said, are you kidding me? We have water, so we're fine. He said, no, I insist. Tell me what you like. So he ended up, like within the hour, he was back with coffee, fruit juices for the kids, and some awesome chocolate croissants from the bakery. A complete stranger. I didn't ask him for help. He stopped at the side of the road and he offered us help. And then, meanwhile, Dirk had the same. A car with Tico stopped to ask us what's going on. Dirk knows a lot about cars, so he was figuring out what was going on, which part wasn't working. And they said, we have a piece like that at home. We can get it. Wait for us here. So while those guys were getting a car piece to just put it in the car where the car was, that was just, sounds like a miracle, right? But I have trained my mind, and Dirk as well, in situations that's really challenging, to trust in the good of others, right? Because I know that I would help someone else, so why wouldn't someone help you, right? It's like, it's gonna attract those positive forces. So that situation was, at the end of the day, it was solved. That car piece was temporarily fixed, but it brought us and the car home, where Dirk could do a deeper car check and stuff. But it literally brought us home. We had food. That same guy stayed with us. We were eating and drinking, and then he said, well, can I give you a ride somewhere? So he literally brought us home. No, he brought us to the place where he was staying, which was actually close to our home. And he said, I'm sure that the owner of the place that I'm renting is fine, that you're gonna have some fun at the pool, at the resort that I'm staying. I said, are you kidding me? And he said, no, come on. So we were close to home. We were laying the whole day in the pool. We had a great day. Dirk was helped. The car was fixed, more or less. That brought us home. And isn't that just a great positive story? I could not have prepared the situation before coming to Costa Rica, before moving to Costa Rica. That is just something that you can create at the spot with a positive thinking, focused on a solution mind. If you're gonna think in doom scenarios and be a very, very afraid type of person, like afraid of everything, what if, that's, there is a quote, I'm not sure whose quote it was, but it goes like this: whatever you're thinking, you're right anyways, So if you have your mind put on negative scenarios, that's gonna happen. So you create your own reality. If you think on the positive scenarios, it's the same with when I went online 8 years ago. Everyone we knew was calling us crazy. You're going online, it's never gonna work out, it's not gonna happen. And we had positive thoughts, not knowing how to do it, how to make it a success, but we trusted in, hey, if others can do it, we can do it. And we're gonna do it. Whether that's gonna take us the rest of our lives or it's gonna be the next year, we're gonna do it. Well, the rest is history, because we live here thanks to our successful online business, right? So, again, let's get back to the subject. Moving to Costa Rica. Suppose you're dreaming about moving to Costa Rica. Suppose you found my videos and now you want to hear what I have to say about mindset and why it's so important. Well, everything that is around you in your life right now is created by your thoughts. You have thought it, whether that is conscious or subconscious. You have thought it, so you are the creator of how your life is right now. That means, with knowing that science, and if you don't know that science, start listening. I'm gonna add 2 book tips below in the description. There's a whole world of information in the description. I'm gonna add 2 books. It's a book of Abraham Hicks, and there's another book. I'm gonna share it. It's about quantum physics. It's about that thoughts can create things, and it's not super vague. It's science. This is how it's working. If you want it or not, if you would understand this principle, if you know how to work with those laws proactively, then you understand that you can create your ideal life, whatever that might be, right? It could be creating a perfect, awesome, happy, healthy life in Costa Rica. It could be something completely else. You want to be a top violin player and doing concerts with the best musicians of the world. You can create that. But there's also an active part. It's not just a thinking part and a reading part and a resetting your mindset part. It's also the doing part, because thoughts are useless without taking action on them. Take that from me. So you can just create situations by just doing them and learn along your way. And this is how I did my move to Costa Rica. All the videos that I created and now post on my YouTube for you is something that you can benefit from, but I didn't have such a person that I followed. I figured it all out by myself, meaning that you can figure it out by yourself, but I had a rock solid mindset, because since my move from my job to being an entrepreneur online, I started to train my mind as is some bodybuilders. You see they're like pumped, you see their muscles, you see the proof how they are working their muscles and their body. This is how I train my mind. I train my mind to be so rock solid that any disaster, any setback, any challenge I could handle without having one sleepless night. And that is how it is, and that is how you can do it too. Knowing that you have creative mind. Oh, that's the other book that I'm gonna refer you to read. It's a book, I cannot come up with the title now, but meanwhile I looked up the title and the author. Viktor E. Frankl is the author, Man's Search for Meaning. If you read that book, it's about this psychiatric expert, what's the word? Psychiatrist. He survived Auschwitz with a specific strategy of thinking. That is such a brilliant book. It's not like a war book. It's not sad in a way. It is a very sad story. It's really the truth. It happened for real. But it's about how he survived it based on his way of thinking. The power of thoughts. It's such an intense book that if you can survive what that man had to face in Auschwitz, that's the termination camps of the Nazis, then you understand probably better how you can make a move to Costa Rica and survive any challenge that's coming on your path, right? The power of proactive creation. So yeah, I wanted to highlight the power of mindset if you're thinking about moving to Costa Rica over preparing the practical stuff. I'm not saying you should not prepare anything, because that's nonsense too. There are things that you should definitely prepare. Look at the birds flying over me. Look, you see them? I love those birds. They're flying in groups, and sometimes more are added to the group. Great, right? So don't let anything stop you. And if there's challenges or things happening that you think, why is this happening to me? See it as something that you have to learn at that very moment that's gonna help you next. But you cannot see what it is, but just trust that everything happens for a reason. There is a lesson to be learned in a situation and an event happening. So it's the art of labeling a disaster, for example, like, it's a challenging situation. Let's find a solution for this. That's a different way of approach. You hear the difference? So this is how I basically solve everything from basically everything. Just take it from me, from everything, from having a terrible house, which I rented ahead of time without having seen it, to finding my ideal rental house, to finding my perfect property, to finding the perfect dogs. Like literally we wished for a dog, and then Lucky appeared on our eyeballs in the Santa Teresa pet rescue group. And then we bought our property, and then we dreamed about a second dog, but we didn't know. And then Joey appeared in our life via someone else. And there is just all these magical things happening in my life in Costa Rica that I thought about before they happened. So if you know this knowledge, use it, and you're gonna have such an awesome time living in Costa Rica after moving to Costa Rica. I believe you can, but please trust in the power of the good and work on your mindset today. I'm gonna add some more books as usual, and those authors, no, I'm gonna also add the blog post with all my favorite books. That's what I'm going to do. Somewhere at the top of the description below my video. So find the description, that is your mission. And then also those authors, you can look up, this is my tip, you can look them up on YouTube, because 9 of the 10 of them have free stuff on YouTube you can start listening to. And that process of listening to like an audio that can be a free thing from YouTube, that can help you reprogram your mind yourself to start from being a very fearful person, like always focusing on what can happen, the worst case scenarios, to a very strong developed person in the mind who's just not afraid of anything, because you know that you have a creative mind and you can always find a solution. That's what I started 8 years ago, and the result is that I wasn't afraid to move to Costa Rica, and I want that for you as well. Make it an awesome journey, the journey of how do you say that? Transition from life A to life B, being the same person but still also changing yourself. I think that's the art of living an awesome life, creating an awesome new life the way you want it. So I hope that makes sense. So find that blog post with my most favorite books. That's your mission. And again, if you want to know what it is that I do online, go to the same description below and click the first link is my recommendation, but I have more. I have coaching programs, I have digital courses created, and I have an itchy nose. Now I have a red nose. But I'm looking for it anyways, reading your replies below. So please leave your comment below. Give me your thumb up if you think I deserve it, and share my video if you think someone else can benefit from it. And with that being said, I am looking forward to meeting you here in Costa Rica. I just finished a very nice walk with someone who met me on my YouTube channel and asked me, can we meet? So I was with my dogs on the beach anyways, and I said, well, let's just walk a little bit together, and that's what we've done. We had amazing conversations, so who knows, we're gonna meet on this same beach one day here in Costa Rica after you made your dream come true. So with that being said, thank you so much for spending so much time with me today on my video. I see you soon. Bye for now.